That's a strange new look. But hey, if it works, it's worth a crack. So new tyres day today. I'm just about to head into BMW to get them fitted. So I'm just cutting through the city today. I didn't want to go on the motorway with tyres that are on the limit. Well, the back one's on the limit. It's got maybe 0.2 mil to play with, so I didn't want any high speed stuff. But in all fairness, I didn't want to ride on motorway with tyres bungee strapped onto the back of my bike, to be honest. They're not very aerodynamic in the way that they're mounted. They might be creating a little bit of drag and they could come flying off, and that would be me £286 I think it was. I would be out of pocket again and I'd have to buy another pair. No concerns for MD's safety if they get hit with them or anything. I just watched Big Zedhead's recent video, or latest video there, where his bike had failed its MOT as well, just like mine did last week there. He'd also put it into Triumph, into the main dealer, just like I did with BMW. I don't think I'll be doing that again. I've used the same MOT station for 5 years pretty much. 4 or 5 years for bikes. There's not enough of them about near where I live, so but as I says to Stuart in his comments, it's like I actually like the MOT idea. It's good for everybody involved. But the chain on this, I'd said to Graham, Haggis Whisperer, a couple of times in the past, I had to adjust mine every 500 or 600 miles maybe, and it wasn't much better than the 125s that had to be adjusted every 300 or 400 miles. So it turns out, well, he'd said he'd never had to adjust his other than when it was in for its service. But I felt as if I was doing it all the time. So that's maybe a sign the chain was at its limit. A way around this would be to take a couple of links off the chain, but that wasn't going to be an option. They'd stated it's the original chain they reckoned it was on it. So after, how many miles is this done? 12,172. So say 12,000 miles. Chain and sprockets. Impressive. I don't imagine these are the original tyres that they're on it. These Avon Trail Riders. But I was nearly buying these again actually, because I'm very impressed with them. But I've not had a tyre, I've not had a bad tyre brand really. I've had a couple of different models with a couple of different tyres, and never any complaints, other than now for the price of them. Seen my mirrors that my tyres are still with me. It's always a good sign. Lovely colour of BMW there. I'm a fan of that shade. Well, there we go. So I'll catch up with these in a bit once the new tyres are on. This is all their demo bikes. Lovely little G310GS. This is really nice in red. Or bits of it are red. Doesn't look too high either. The legend it is, the R1250GSA. And hopefully my bike's not here when I turn the corner. That's away. Now these two are a bit controversial, not to everyone's tastes. Personally I like both, but both very different bikes all in all. This is probably my favourite bike in here at the minute. It is just beautiful. And bizarrely enough, I wedged 3 of my stickers on a fellow YouTuber's bike that's very similar to this, just yesterday I'm sure it was. Shout out to Riding Through Grief. Hey Craig, hope you got them stickers, mate. This is just stunning. So, have you been watching my big shed build videos? You might have seen I had a little chainsaw accident. And this was nothing to do with my project, it was to do with my broken fence due to the high winds we had back in January, maybe, was that? But I was out of the game for about 2 weeks, couldn't do anything really because I was missing the use of one finger. Sounds ridiculous, I know. It's still actually sore, not agonisingly sore, but it's still quite sore to touch. It's just nerve damage, I assume. So that was silly. So every spare opportunity recently I've been digging out fence posts. The posts were concreted in, and I watched various YouTube videos, and it's quite easy to jack out these posts using either a toe jack, or what I'd used was a big iron bar with a chain round it and 2 car jacks, one at either side. But no way in the world were these posts coming out. And then I discovered this. What is rebar, reinforcement bar, horizontally placed through the posts to give them more sturdiness, I guess. So I got down as far as I could, then I got an angle grinder, cut the bars, the reinforced bars inside the post holes, or post square holes, and got a big iron bar which is about 6 foot long by about 1.5 to 2 inch thick diameter, with a big spike on one end and a bent sort of chisel type end on the other end. So I spent what was hours digging these wooden posts out using that method. Finally I got there. So new posts in place, fencing all back together now, and thankfully I can get back out on my bike. Still unsure of these tyres. But it's just something new, I guess. They were quite pricey. Couldn't believe how pricey they were, in fact. I could have got a pair of Metzeler Tourances, which I had on my baby GS, the little G310 GS, and they were amazing. So they were. I can turn this off now, in fact. Don't really use that camera very often. So I could have got the Metzeler Tourances for around £200, but I wanted these Dunlops. I'd heard so many good reviews on them, and the times that I do go off-road a bit and attack the trails, nice to have an extra little bit of grip. So I'd noticed Richie Vida had put up a video about a year ago watching these, reviewing these tyres, the Dunlop Trailmax Raids. So I thought, who could I ask other than him? That's a great person to ask. Does he still think the same about them, basically? And he reckons they'd had another 6 or 7 pairs since then, and they were the dog's danglies, basically. So I started watching his recent tour where him and a few boys head over to Morocco, and I think it was either at the first vid or the second vid, they pointed out that they've all the bikes that are on tour with them have all got these tyres, and they are not riding on tarmac all the time, you know. They're going, or sorry, they're not riding dirt all the time. They're doing the vast majority, maybe, on the black stuff. But some of the stuff they attack with their bikes, and more specifically these tyres, I'm very, very impressed with them. Another YouTube channel I've been watching, PK had told me to watch this dude probably about a year ago. Adam Ryman, Australian guy, absolutely amazing. The footage, the videos, the effort he puts into these videos, amazing. Just like Richie, in fact. Richie's vids are awesome as well. So there we go, that's enough talking about these big sub channels. Some fantastic bits of road today. Perfect roads for scrubbing in a pair of tyres. And after riding with them for a couple of hours, I'm pretty confident in them actually. They felt a bit floaty at first, but now I'm already used to them, it seems. I couldn't believe when he told me there was only 1 mil left in the back tyre. It was only right up the middle, right enough. There was easily 2 or 3 in certain sections at the side, you know. But just because of the style of tyre it was,
deceiving, sort of looking at it and you think, oh, there's loads of tread left in that, and as it turns out there's not. So I'll leave you at this, folks. Peace out, take it easy, cheers for watching, adios.